Well, welcome back to Ask a Monk. Next question comes from Elek Maham, who asks, I am wanting to learn to transcend my suffering and overcome my suffering, but I also wish to positively affect change in the world around me. How can I reconcile the idea of accepting this reality with my desire to make the world better for all? Good question. There's a few things that you have to keep in mind in this sort of situation, which I think is the situation that we all should be in, the desire to help ourselves and the desire to help others. The first is knowing your place in the world. I think for anyone who expects to change the world in its entirety, to make the world a peaceful place, I think obviously, and I hope there's not many people in that sort of delusion. I think that there's no hope of ever making the world a peaceful place. I mean, to put it all into context, that eventually this world is going to, the planet is going to fly into the sun or be burnt to a crisp by the heat of the sun. So there's no hope. I mean, we can help the world and we can help other people, but in the end we have to give up and we have to let go. The key to finding a balance is in knowing what you can do and accepting the things that you can't do. So we want to be able to help people, then we understand that we can help the people around us. We can help our family, we can help our friends, we can affect change in our sphere of influence, and we can change and expand that sphere of influence, but in the end it's always going to be limited. And I think that it's important part of who we are to want to help others. I think that's the key, is that it should be simply a part of who we are. If someone has ambition to change the world and that's their goal, then I think that ambition is actually going to get in the way of their successful advancement as a human being, because they're going to always be frustrated and upset by not being able to effect the sorts of change that they want to effect. I think the real answer to your question is that by changing yourself and by learning to accept and let go, you become a better person. And as a better person, you affect the change in the world around you that you would like to see. I think it was Gandhi who said that to be the change that you would like to see in the world. It's wrong for us to go about thinking that we're going to change other people or change the world when we ourselves are full of things that should be changed, are full of negative mind states, and negative emotions, and so on. If we can't change those, then our acts in the world, our sphere of influence, the being who we are, which is very much connected with the world around us, is going to have a negative impact on the world. It's going to have a negative impact on our minds, and it's a negative impact on the minds of the beings around us. If our mind is pure, as we work to purify our minds, we will naturally affect the beings and the world around us. Whether we're even in the jungle, seemingly removed from the world. If a person is dedicated to clearing and cleaning their mind, they can't help but have an effect on the world at large, and they have it in their own sphere of influence. So not everyone will be living in the forest. For some people, that's their sphere of influence, that their life naturally gravitates towards seclusion. For other people, it naturally gravitates towards society. The important thing is that whatever life you live, that you should work to purify your sphere of existence. And that includes your own mind, and that includes helping other people. It should be a part of who you are. And in that sense, I don't think there's any conflict at all between helping yourself and helping other people. The Buddha said, when you help yourself, you help others. When you help others, you help yourself. And it should be that way. You should never put the welfare of other people in front of your own welfare. Thinking that you'll help other people in some way while sacrificing your own mental clarity. Because that's the point, is that you're going to only create tension and stress. You see all these organizations that I used to get involved in that are trying to effect change in the world and in third world countries and politically and so on, trying to help people. And the people are in many ways stressed and miserable and get angry and fight and so on. There's a lot of suffering involved because they're putting the world in front of themselves, and as we can see in the world today, it's not working. The good that they're doing is not having any lasting impact. If you're able to build hospitals or feed the poor or eradicate this disease or that disease, it's it's like trying to stem the flow of a river with your bare hands. You're not going to get very far. You can see that we're not getting very far. There's no one in the world who's really going to... Well, it's impossible to really make the world a perfect place. And I can tell you, I'm here in nature, and I'm surrounded by murderers and violence all the time. The ants are killing this or that, and the lizards and the monkeys, and it's the universe is quite very much out of our control, really. And this is why I say we should work to purify our sphere of existence, our sphere of influence. And to go beyond that is to do something that's futile, something that's not going to have the results that we hope for. It takes us out of balance, and therefore leads to stress and suffering both for ourselves and for other people, even though we might have limited success in terms of improving the states of existence for various people for a temporary period of time. Helping people should really be a part of our spiritual development. It should there should be no difference between helping ourselves and helping others, and they should both be the improvement of the world that we live in, which is our sphere of existence. So I hope that helps and is not too convoluted. Thanks for the question, and all the best.